Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing not all cancers are the same. It's hard to say what somebody's going to go through, even if you are a survivor, because every case is different. The different types of cancers are different. The different stages are different. You have to get a full picture to really understand what's going on and listen to your doctors and see what they have to say about it. For me personally, I had adenocarcinoma, and after the pathology came back, it was clear that I had villonodular, but I did my research and it says that with those types of cells divide very slowly and they don't like to spread to other locations, which is very good for me. Not all adenocarcinomas are like that for cervical cancer. Sometimes they have what's called skip lesions, where you can have a spot over here, but then you have a spot over here. They're not connected, but it's still there. And that can cause some problems when it comes to treating adenocarcinoma, because one of the things they wanted to do for me, even though it was only in my cervix, from what they could see, I still was recommended to have chemotherapy and radiation. Why? If it was just in my cervix, because adenocarcinoma can have those little tiny skip lesions. Those can mean that they're outside the surgical area and they would have missed it. And then later on, those cells would continue fighting, and then I would have a reoccurrence. Even though they were there to begin with, they couldn't tell that they were. Later on, they would know that they were there. And they couldn't say for sure if they were new or not, or were there previously and all this other stuff, so it would be called a reoccurrence. So that's why for my 1B2, even though it's stage 1, I was recommended to have the chemotherapy and the radiation. I could have decided to have just the surgery and have a radical hysterectomy, but I chose to go the route that gave me the best outcome. I have 2 young daughters and I want to be there for them. Other people might have something that's completely different. There are different types of adenocarcinomas that are very aggressive. They divide very rapidly. They're known to have those big skip lesions that cause a lot more problems. So it really depends on the type of cells that are involved, the type of cancer, how fast they divide. Do they like to have skip lesions? Do they do crazy things? Because they're all different. That's why it's important to have all the tests done, to have the pathology done, to see what kind of cells you're dealing with. For my job, I'm a cytogenetic technologist, and one of the things that I do is I'm looking at the chromosomes of the cancer patients, and I'm looking at to see what chromosomal abnormalities are there that we can find. Sometimes it's completely normal, but sometimes we can find what's the abnormality, and those abnormalities can help the doctor find out which treatment will work the best. And you might have the same type of cancer, but this person has one thing, which means that they get this treatment. This person has something completely different going on with their chromosomes, so they need to have this type of treatment. So when you're going through this, it's very important to actually know what kind you have, what's going on in your body, get all the information that you can get, and then base your treatment off that. In the beginning, personally, I just wanted to cut out. Get it out of my body. When can I have the surgery? I want it done now. I don't want to know that this thing is in my body. I want it out. Get it out. I want it out. That was my first reaction, and I know that was the first reaction for a lot of my family members and my friends and things like that. People didn't understand later on why I didn't have surgery. And as I mentioned before, it was the possibilities of the skip lesions and missing something, and I didn't want to take that chance. But what do you want to do? It's your body. Do you want to just not get chemotherapy and radiation at all? Then maybe you want to try surgery and then do the wait and watch and go through your things and just go to your appointments and get your pap smears every 3 months just to make sure that things aren't starting up again. That's your call. With HPV, there's some people who go the natural route and that can work. I'm not sure if I've heard of any cervical cancers that have gone into remission by natural means. It's really hard hearing that you have to get chemotherapy and radiation. Talk to your doctors, see what your options are. A lot of people recommend going to see a second person and getting a second opinion. You can do that. Go for a third one. If they all say the same thing, do you have to do that? It's your life. It's your body. No one can tell you what to do. They can only tell you what they think you should do. And what I did is I went with what my doctor said. That's best for me. I didn't want to do the natural route and wonder, am I making things worse? Is it going to work? I just wanted the best outcome that I could get. And it's been a year and a half and things are going well. So for me, I feel like I'd made the right decision. Might not be the decision you make, and that's okay if you're okay with it. I hope you had a good week. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the like button, and make some comments. Do you know somebody who went a different route? How was their outcome? Did you decide surgery instead of chemotherapy and radiation, even though they said maybe you should? Did you have a good outcome? Great for you. If you did, fantastic. Did you have surgery and then end up having to have radiation and chemotherapy? Let's talk. Let's combine our experiences and learn from them, and maybe allow somebody else to learn from them too. Well, thank you, and hope you have a great week. Bye.